Welcome, everyone. Robert Wayne with Global Film Exhibition. And this is Behind the Frames. For those of you familiar with the website, Behind the Frames is a blog that covers all things cinema. And we decided that we were going to introduce a video segment to enrich your experiences with cinema, both television and the movies. And we have a special guest with us today, very special guest, Mr. Mario Della Casa. And let me show you something. Look at that. Anyone know what that is? I bet you do. Well, stay tuned because we're going to tell you how to get your very own of these. This is the I Dream a Genie bottle. And Mario Della Casa, he is the only artist to ever be officially sanctioned by Sony as the official maker of the Genie bottle. And he is also endorsed by Barbara Eden. His bottles are exquisite. They're one of a kind. Each one has its own little personality too. And but we're going to talk with Mario a little bit about himself and about his journey with the Genie bottles. Mario, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. I appreciate being here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in movie and TV memorabilia. Of course, with yours, it's mostly television here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, I'm just a coal miner's daughter, basically. What I started was I was 18 years old, and I knew that I really wanted to venture out in my artistry. And who pushed me was Elizabeth Montgomery from Bewitched. I knew her growing up, and she was an amazing lady. And she's she always told me to go for it, make sure that you get that, because if you don't, it would be a sin not to. But I was in property management and I had my own 9 to 5 job and everything, and I was doing the normal things that everybody would do. But I knew that I needed to push forward, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I had asked Liz if I could do artworks from Bewitched. And she said, sure. I talked to her and I talked to William Asher, and they said that I could do anything that I want to be able to do for Bewitched. But um, Liz said to me, and her exact words were, that knockoff show had a bottle. I didn't have anything, and she says,
Mhm.
but if you do the bottle from the show. And she was right. I liked I Dream of Genie as well, but I didn't tell Liz that because Liz didn't like I Dream of Genie or the concept of it, because for sure it was a knockoff. But I knew that for me, even though I was 100% Bewitched boy, I loved Genie's bottle as well growing up. And I knew that it didn't exist. And so I thought, why not cater to a already pre-existed audience and give them exactly what it is that they wanted? And so I decided that I was going to go ahead and make the Genie bottle for people. And I saw that that everybody that saw it didn't need an explanation of what it was. They knew it on sight, and they got excited. And I would see it when I would make one. And I saw people reverting back into their younger selves. I need one. I have to have one. I have to have one. And so for me, I had to be able to cash in on many factors. I wanted to be able to make sure that I was able to get that cash in on that feeling for everybody, because I wanted everybody to go back into time. I wanted everybody to go back into that innocence. I wanted everybody to be able to claim what it is that they've always wanted and now be able to afford to get. So I needed to be able to see how I was going to approach this. I just knew that I could make it, and now I need to be able to do it. The internet was very raw at the time. And so I really didn't know what I was doing when it comes down to marketing and stuff. It just, I could have owned Pepsi.com at that time if I wanted it. It was so new. Um, but when I finally found the Genie bottle, a Jim Beam bottle, because I didn't know it was a Jim Beam bottle. When I finally had found one, I was in my 20s, because I was looking for vases that were shaped like this, but I needed Genie's bottle. I couldn't do a copy. I needed to do the right thing. And finally I found it in a museum in Modesto, California, and grabbed it. and I painted it. And back in those days, I, there was a Yahoo auction, and kind of like eBay before eBay, and I put it on there just to see how well it would go. And the amount of people that bid on it on my very first bottle, there was I it sold for $13,500. So I
Mm.
was like, I have something here, you know, and I had to make sure that I did something. But I only had one bottle. What am I going to do? So at that point, I started making ceramic castings, and I went and got ceramic molds in order for me to be able to make the mold and everything. But Liz is like, hold your horses. You don't have the rights for this yet. You have to make sure that you get the rights for this before you do anything. You can't just, make sure you do that. So I was putting the cart before the horse, and I had to make sure that I had the right to be able to do it. When I did become licensed with Sony Entertainment, and they approved the designs that I made, I went full force, and I made sure that I was able to create the designs that appeared on I Dream of Genie. And I only thought there was one. I remembered only one. I remember the purple one. That's
Yeah.
it. You know? But then having to do my research and watch I Dream of Genie since it's never been off the air, I had to make sure that, I looked at every episode to make sure that I created the bottle perfectly. And I noticed that there were different variations of the bottle. And so I sought out Larry Hagman, and that's a story within itself. And and when and he told me about the bottles, and I followed his format of what he told me to do, and it took off from there. And I've been making wishes come true ever since I was 18 years old, and it's something that I really love doing. It's been a part of my life. I don't think I know how to do anything else. I mean,
Well,
making
you
wishes making wishes come true for me is what I do, whether it's the genie bottle or not, whether it's a genie bottle or Freddie the Flute, or whether it's a painting or whether it's something. My desire was to make a wish come true, and despite what it was, and that's so for me, that's my job, making a wish come true to cater to your inner child, and
well, I must say it definitely caters to the inner child. I can speak to that because I've wanted one of these genie bottles since I was a kid, since I was about 10 years old, watching the reruns after school. And I want to bring one of these bottles back in here to show people the incredible detail that goes into these and screen matched. This particular bottle is the screen matched bottle. Barbara Eden said this is the closest one to the
true.
bottle, to her bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are to scale. They are to scale. And you talk about making dreams come true. To actually be able to hold one of these in your hands is that's the experience of a lifetime right here.
I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. I really do. Sorry, I'll show you a couple of other ones that
Okay.
there are different designs that you might like. And then
Oh,
I'll show you a few things. I created.
beautiful.
I created. I got a whole bunch of different ones that I've done. Um, This is the Uncle Sully. That She had an uncle named Uncle Sully. So I decided, you know what? She had many genies in her family. She had the evil sister. She had her uncle. I mean, she had her uncle. She had her mother. She had all these genies. She had the blue gin. She had all these different bottles over there, but they didn't have a bottle. And so I decided to give them one. They deserved one. They were genies as well. So I created a design that I thought that would be fitting for that character. And then I stepped outside of that, and like Barbara loves this one over here for Halloween. And so
That
I
yeah,
would
that
do,
is cute.
I would do different themes and stuff.
Hmm.
Well, and then for the TV show Charmed, there was an episode called "I Dream of Phoebe" from the TV show Charmed, and this is the actual bottle that appeared on the show. And so I got the cast to sign it. But so Genie has followed, the the TV and television shows for many, 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 many years. And you hear references all the time on television shows about, crossing your arms or blinking or letting Genie out of the bottle.
Hmm.
And so it's funny how even people that have never seen the show I Dream of Genie reference the I Dream of Genie on many television shows. It's really kind of funny to see.
And you tour with the I Dream of Genie cast, which I believe now has dwindled down to
You
Barbara. And so tell us a little bit about traveling with Miss Jeannie.
Oh, Barbara's a class act. She absolutely is. My friendships were very deep with Larry Hagman and Bill Daly because we were like the Three Stooges. Barbara was a lady and very proper and very prim and all that, and so I couldn't get goofy with Barbara. But I could with Larry and Bill because that's just the way they were. With Barbara, we had to keep your hands folded and we had to be nice. Yeah, so yeah. And so we love Barbara, and she's a great gal, and she's fun, but she's not as goofy as they were. So you have to have a different respect, for
You know,
Barbara.
I can see that. I can see that a bit in her. She always had, even in the characters that she played, there was some refinement there.
Absolutely, there's no question. She's
Yeah.
very, very refined. She's a lady,
Hmm.
pure, plain and simple, lady from the old school, and deserves respect. And she's and at 93 years old, I wish I had her energy. I mean, my
Mm.
God, off in Europe as we speak, I'm filming something in Europe right now. I wish I had her energy. She's just amazing in every way.
Well, and you go to conventions with her still, where people can get if they have bottles, they get them signed. Can they purchase bottles on site to get signed?
Absolutely, they can. Or if they're not going to be available to come to the show when Barbara and I are touring, they can always go to my website, which is geniebottles.com. Or if they are able to come, it'd be nice because we want to meet the fans. And so I
Absolutely.
I want to meet the people that I created these bottles for. These people, it's the fan base why I created the bottle, not because of the show, because of how we felt, because of how we wanted it. So I definitely want to have this interaction with the people because those are my fellow people. And
Right,
so
right.
you know um and Barbara and I have a great work relationship as well, and when we do our shows together, I'll have my bottles in every design that's there. A lot of people appreciated other characters on the show, as well as Genie. Like, they would love the evil sister, and so they would identify, and their favorite color would be green, and so they would get the green bottle or what have you. But a lot of people would have collections of my bottles as well. And but they can come and pick the one that's calling their name. They're like, I've got to have and they'll grab it and they'll have Barbara sign it. And as soon as the ink is dry, that bottle has appreciated in value because it is a collector's piece. And so, not only because I made it, but also because Barbara signed it. And bottles that are signed by Larry Hagman right now, I just saw, was it Butterfields had was it Butterfields? I think it was Butterfields. I had a auction going on, and a bottle that was signed by Larry had gone for $12,000. Well, you can't get a bottle signed by Larry anymore, so they're rare. And so it's if you have a bottle that's signed by any one of the cast, I hold on to it because it does appreciate in value. It's the only thing. The Genie bottle is one of the only things in television history that is the most recognized item, iconic item, that needs no explanation up until the age of millennial. I'll put it that way, because the kids nowadays don't know. But just as you would see the ruby slippers and understand where it came from, and you need no explanation, is the same thing that you would do if you saw the Genie bottle. You need no explanation. Now, you hear the demographic when you see somebody hold a Genie bottle and ask you, is it a bong?
Oh.
You, you know, but, it's like, no, but good idea, but no. But I'm not doing that either. I'm not making one of those because I
A
respect.
hookah. They're thinking hookah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
go ahead.
no, but having traveled with the cast of I Dream of Genie, because we all used to travel together,
Mhm.
and we were all over the world, and it's an experience that I would never trade with anybody. It is something that I've maintained friendships with these people up until the day that they died, and continue to do so, and I miss them every day. But we had a blast, and we really did, and it was an amazing time to see how well people can get along, 40, 50 years after a television show has stopped being filmed, and they still are a part of that.
Isn't that's incredible, isn't it? That is one of the reasons that we wanted to do this segment, particularly on movie and TV memorabilia, which you were the inspiration for, by the way. I told you in our phone conversation recently, and because I was a customer first, I actually bought my bottles first. And this is what I read more of your story, and I said, this is going to be great. So we've got to have him on the inaugural episode.
Right.
And you were so gracious to come and lend of your time. Um, the movie and listen, okay,
Memorabilia.
yeah, memorabilia. Memorabilia is a big market out there. It's incredible. The movie franchises. There's a lot in horror and science fiction, particularly. One of the things I wanted to highlight when it comes to the movie and TV memorabilia is it's more than just action figures here, or tennis shoes or T-shirts or posters or whatever. There are like yourself, there are people out there creating some very sophisticated stuff, and they're worth every penny. But one of the things I wanted to bring up, because I feel this is very important, it's very important for fans and purchasers of these products to know, is that there are scammers out there, and they're after your money, and what you're getting in return is not what you thought.
For
So
sure.
what I wanted you to do, Mario, I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about the scammer problem that you've been having lately with these Genie bottles, which I will mention. I looked up myself. They're using your image, an image of this beautiful Genie bottle,
Name.
and the name, and they are offering. You think that's what you're getting, and you think you're getting it from Mario, but what you're actually getting is a bottle that's not even 10 inches tall. Uh, it, Look at those specifications when you order, because it's one way to tell is these bottles are to scale. Okay, these bottles are clocking in right at about 15 inches tall. I think 14 and 3/4 inches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Mario, right quick. Inform our viewers about the scam problem that you've been having.
About 2.5 years or so ago, I was on eBay and somebody said, I want to order 10 of your Genie bottles. Wow. Okay, great. So I said, okay, which ones do you want? Just the purple. I said, that's fine. Give me your email address and I'll send you a PayPal request. Okay. So I send him a PayPal. I go, no. I don't want, no, that's way expensive. I said, this is what I sell them for. I said, I'll give you a discount. That's not a problem. But he says, no, I want these bottles. And he sent me a link. He sent me a picture of my own bottle. I said, that is my bottle. He says, well, here's the link. So I go to the link and I was floored. They were using pictures of my pictures, my name, by me, pictures of me and Barbara, all these sort of things. Get your Genie bottle for $9.99. What is going on here? So I try to contact the people. I'm doing my investigation. I'm seeing that there's a PayPal link there. I contact PayPal. I said, "This isn't me. I don't know what's going on here." And I'm finding out that this is a big scam going on. I didn't know what to do. This was being publicized on Facebook at the time. So I contact Facebook. So you need to take this down. This isn't me. They're using my name. They're using my product. They're using my image. They're using my endorsements. They're using my everything. You got to take this down. Took forever, months and months before they would take anything down. But in the meantime, they're selling and scamming all these things. I'm getting phone call after phone call after phone call, hundreds and hundreds of phone calls. I want my money back. That's not what I paid for. You ripped me off. What are you talking about? And so I said, you were scammed, but not by me. I'm out there on the internet and I'm doing everything that I can in order for me to tell people to be aware. And if you want to buy something, only come through me because I don't sell outside my website or outside eBay unless my name is attached to it. I said, you don't, or Etsy. I said, you have to come directly. You have to make sure it's me. Okay. And I said, you need to do a FaceTime call or whatever with me. We'll do it. You need to make sure it's me before you're scammed. I don't care if it's $10. A lot of $10 add up. And so a lot of people are wanting their money back. Oh, I'm sorry. I would want my money back too if I got scammed. But it's not me. I had to go through federal courts. I had to go do everything. Well, the thing is that these scammers know how to play this game. I don't. Okay. Every time I take down one ad that's fake on any website, whether it's eBay or Etsy or wherever, Amazon, all that, I take down one, they put up 10.
Mm.
And it was like playing whack-a-mole. And here I am 24 hours a day in order for me to be able to take these things down, which is taking time away from me being able to create. Okay. So not only does it take food out of my plate, but it's also scamming people as well. And it's harming my name as well. Okay. I'm doing everything, but all of these sites are fully aware that it's a total scam. And then on the other hand, they're promising authenticity when you buy something from their website, that it's authentic when they're perfectly aware that there is a scam going on. And so what these scammers are doing is that they're putting up a fraudulent counterfeit under my name on the website and using my photographs to do so, and using these major company sponsorship programs. So they're getting paid in order to promote their scam. And they also get paid by a proceed of that sale goes to them as well. So regardless of how they do it on a listing fee or promotional sponsorship or by the sale, the company is the one getting some money from this deal. So they're compliant when they are fully aware that there's a scam going on. So I'm searching for an attorney as well on this matter. And it's very difficult in order for me to be able to find an attorney because it seems like most attorneys are scared of the word contingency. And I need to find one because I really want to sue these major companies, because the only way that they're going to pay any attention whatsoever about this, because I've already let them know, the only way that they're going to take any real look at this is when they're hit on their wallet. When you hit them financially, then they'll take a peek at you to see what it is you have to complain about. And that's what I need to be able to do. I need to find somebody who's going to be a bulldog and go after them, because I have no other recourse. I'm doing everything I can, but it's like playing whack-a-mole. When I went to federal court in order for me to be able to stop these people in China, the judge looked at me and told me, you're fighting a country of people doing this to you. We're in China. It is not against the law to scam people in America. In fact, they encourage it. And you're one man trying to fight a country. Good luck to you. You need to go to the major companies in order to be able to, so they could stop advertising, so they can't use the sponsorship programs to sell their fraudulent goods.
Well, let's do something right quick to set things straight on our end, and we'll tell our viewers. You order your Genie bottles from geniebottles.com. You're also represented on eBay and Etsy, Bottles by Pina.
No, yeah, Bottles by Pina and Genie Bottles.
And Bottles by Pina, that's your mom. Well,
So she taught she taught me everything I know when it comes to painting. So, and she does a great job.
well, say hi to mom for us. And yeah, that's too bad that you're having that trouble. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to lay that out there to our followers, and to help get the word around for you on where people can go and get the authentic Mario de la Casa Genie bottles. They're worth every penny, folks. I'm telling
Freddie
you.
the Flute, dude. Freddie the Flute.
And Freddie the Flute as well. And with that, I think we're just about out of time. We've got just a couple of more minutes, and I'll wrap things up by saying, Mario, thank you so much for spending time with us. I
Oh man,
wish I wish I could be. You mentioned Burbank. I wish I could meet you guys in Burbank and have Barbara sign my bottle, but I'm going to be on vacation at that time. But I really wish I could be there. Give Barbara a big hello from us here at Global Film Exhibition, and
I,
go ahead.
no, I definitely will, and I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to be able to talk to you guys and let you know what's going on too. I appreciate that.
Well, thank
Um,
you. Go ahead.
we're doing a big show in South Fork Ranch as well, where we're going to get the last cast together, and Barbara will be there with Priscilla Presley and the whole cast of Dallas, and we're doing a big show out there in October. So you're welcome to come to that as well. Um,
I'm gonna have to
Barbara was
check.
on.
I'm gonna have to check my calendar. I might just make that one.
Cool.
Now, you mentioned Barbara again. What about?
Barbara was on Dallas as well in the last season of Dallas, and
Hmm.
I thought it was fitting since Larry is not no longer with us that she can have when we do a tribute to Larry that she would be able to say something on stage when it came down to to Larry on when we're there in Dallas doing this big reunion. But you're like I said, I hope you come. And for those of you who want a bottle, I'm going to do a special Dallas bottle. I'm going to create something really cool for that as well.
Oh, I can't wait to see that myself. But your bottles are exquisite. They are an important part of our television heritage, and they're just phenomenal.
Thank
And
you.
you can't beat the detail. Folks, go to geniebottles.com or Bottles by Pina on eBay and Etsy, correct?
Right.
And get your own Genie bottle. They're the one and only De La Casa design. And as I mentioned earlier, you were the only artist ever licensed by Sony.
I'm the youngest. They never licensed an artist before. They were, they usually deal with a whole bunch of manufacturing companies in order to be able to do this. And they hired me. I'm the only artist ever in history by Sony Entertainment to be awarded the license in order for me to be able to create an artistic piece to be able to offer to the public, and being the I Dream of Genie bottle. I wasn't going to cheapen it by giving it to somebody else and calling it my own. I wanted to be able to make sure that I put my hands on these bottles and then call it my artwork. So it was my artwork through and through. And so that I made sure of that. And a lot of these bottles are brass as well. Because I paid tribute to the what started this all was a movie called The Brass Bottle that she did with Tony Randall and Earl Ives, and called The Brass Bottle, and it was about a genie movie. And so I created the bottle in brass and in glass as it was on the show. So I try to tie everything up in once.
Well, all I've got to say is not all memorabilia is created equal. There's things out there for every budget, but I'm telling you, if you want something that is as close to authentic as you can get, you cannot go wrong with these Genie bottles. I'm telling you from my own personal experience with my own bottles. And you don't even have to be a fan of the show. People who never heard of the show can appreciate these bottles. No matter where you put them in your home, uh,
A
they,
lot
they they
use them for
go.
a lot of people have used them for urns and wanted
Mhm.
spins on them as well. And so that's my proudest moment. In order for me to be able to do that for somebody that really wanted it like that way, there
So
is no.
exactly, and I highly recommend them. One last thing, Mario, this might sound a little corny, but your legacy.
Mm.
What do you want in terms of all of these wonderful things that you created? Your legacy. What do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, I want Frank Sinatra saying in the background that I did it my way, you know,
Me
and
too.
I did it my way. And my way was to cater to those who wanted something. I wanted to be able to invoke an emotion one way or another. I wanted to be able to invoke something that was going to make you feel good with my artistry. And so if I was able to succeed that, that's it. That's all I wanted.
Well, Mario de la Casa from Queen Creek, Arizona, thank you so much for joining us. And everyone, this is Robert Wayne for Global Film Exhibition Behind the Frames. See you next time.
Right.